Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Today's rundown is going out to Jebber Gaming Jaws, who just can't get enough of our older episodes of Electric Playgrounds. Amazing to hear reactions to the games without the cloudy perspective of all the years. Fantastic comment. Thanks for your support. This rundown is all yours. Nintendo isn't happy about people pirating their old games. The company is cracking down on online piracy and is taking two prominent ROM distribution sites to court. The sites LoveRoms.com and LoveRetro.co distribute free ROMs of mostly older games, including many classic Nintendo titles, which users can then play in an emulator. Nintendo of America is suing them in court, demanding $100,000 for every pirated Nintendo game available, which means the charges could add up to more than $100 million against each site. Lawsuits like this are actually pretty rare in the entertainment industry. Most companies just send cease and desist letters to piracy sites, so the fact that Nintendo is taking them to court could be seen as their way of making an example for future pirates. At the time we're filming this, LoveRoms.com and LoveRetro.co have both been taken offline. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty clear. Nintendo is going after people that are, taking their copyright and just blasting these ROMs all over the place, and it's crazy that sites can continue to kind of exist and say, oh, no, we could just put all of this stuff online and it can just be free for everybody. Certainly there are gray areas if you already own the cartridge and you've got some kind of way to back up some of your software and stuff like that, but downloading ROMs is very, very slippery, and it's a very, very, because obviously people don't just take the stuff that they already own in their library, they take all kinds of extra stuff as well. And Nintendo is making it a business of selling us collected, little mini consoles of classic games, and they're going to be selling us their older games as well. It is a company that, yes, they sell us the same stuff over and over again, but the one good thing I would say about Nintendo is that they understand the value of their history and their back catalog, and they want to protect it and preserve it in the ways that they can. Could they be doing better? Yes. Could they be giving us access to more stuff? Yes. Could other companies stop treating video games as completely disposable and forgettable, which has sort of created a little bit of a need for emulation and a need for some kind of preservation out there? Yeah. I think the business could be doing a much better job for that. But there are also lots and lots of these pirate sites out there, and lots of ways for people to get all of this stuff for free. And I mean, it makes sense if you're a corporation and you have a business and you own these libraries. It's just like the movie studios. They're not just going to let you, take all the movies and television shows that you want for nothing. If they find out that you've been doing that, eventually they're going to come after you, whether you're, an ISP or whether you're a site holder or whether you're illegally downloading that stuff. These are protected, copywritten works, and you have to kind of respect the fact that the people that own these copyrights have a right to go after people that break those rules. And it's not a shock, and I think this is going to have really big, and I think this is the reason why they're doing this, is going to have big repercussions for all kinds of emulation stuff out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see ROMs start disappearing quickly off of, easy-to-find websites out there. Now, are you talking to me? Joaquin Phoenix might not be the only big-name actor in his upcoming Joker movie. Robert De Niro is reportedly in talks to co-star in the new DC solo movie. No official announcements have been made, but according to The Hollywood Reporter, De Niro will play a talk show host who's kidnapped by the Joker in a role reversal from his part of the 1982 film The King of Comedy. This sounds like the film's plot won't be directly inspired by any one Joker comic book and will instead be telling a new origin tale, so fans won't know what to expect. Filming begins soon, with the release slated for October 2019. Man, they are not pulling any punches with this movie. I guess they want to make this a potential Oscar contender. I mean, this is going to be crazy. This is like, I think what we're going to see is like a really heavy crime drama with the manifestations of the Joker sort of intertwined in all of this. It's going to be crazy. These are incredible actors. I don't know if I've ever seen them on screen before together. I'm excited as hell now to see this movie. The bombs are going to start dropping in Fallout 76 a little early. Bethesda has announced that the beta test for the new online game will begin in October, a month before the game arrives on November 14th. It will begin first on the Xbox One before finding its way to the PC and PS4, and it's also a closed beta, so you'll have to pre-order the game and then register on Bethesda's site in order to get in. Not everyone who registers will be able to jump in right away. At first, only players who have been pre-selected by Bethesda will be able to participate, but the beta will get bigger and bigger, with Bethesda promising that everyone who pre-orders will be able to test it out eventually. Fallout 76 is the first online multiplayer game in the series, with players able to explore the wasteland by themselves or with up to 3 people. This is going to be incredible. I mean, I don't know how the game is going to turn out, but just the idea that Bethesda is taking what has been a single-player experience and sort of allowing other people in, and it is like this huge experiment. And I trust the team. Todd Howard and his collection of incredible artists are capable of doing phenomenal things. So I think this is going to be a very exciting piece of software. Yes, it's relying on some familiar technology and some familiar scenery, but I think this is going to be super fun. And I think everybody that's played a Fallout game that they have made or have been a participant in has wondered what it would be like to play this thing in multiplayer. We're going to be able to figure that out and find that out for ourselves very soon. But I feel like this is, a risk. I feel like they are taking some steps to kind of mitigate that risk and sort of slowly let this out to people a little more slowly than I would expect, quite frankly. I mean, they announced it at E3 and the release date is looming. It's coming soon. I would feel like they would want a longer beta to kind of test out the kinks and make sure that this is all working. Hopefully it is. Hopefully they've been in lots and lots of Q&A for a long time here, so hopefully it is kind of smooth sailing already. At least it didn't start from the ground up, right? At least this isn't like a PlayStation 5 launch title or something like that. There's some familiarity with what they're working with. So I think we should expect something pretty slick and pretty cool. But I am as curious as you. They didn't have any playable Fallout 76 at E3. They announced it, they gave us a release date, and then didn't let us play it, which was kind of weird. But it's coming up fast, and I will absolutely be bugging Bethesda to get in on that pre-order beta, and I am very curious to see how this thing turns out. My expectations are pretty high, though. This is a pretty impressive team. Now, the NBA 2K video game franchise is about to give players a whole new kind of basketball. 2K Sports has bought the publishing rights to the upcoming basketball game NBA Playgrounds 2 and given it a new title, NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. This brings the game and its arcade-style basketball firmly under the NBA 2K brand, and it sounds like more than just the title is being changed. As part of the move, NBA 2K developer Visual Concepts is now helping out with the development alongside original developer Saber Interactive, and according to Visual Concepts president Greg Thomas, they're giving it a bit of added NBA 2K flair. What specific changes are being made haven't been outlined, and the news comes just weeks after Playgrounds 2 was abruptly delayed, so this 2K deal might be why it was pushed back. The NBA Playgrounds games are obviously a stark contrast to the more realistic NBA 2K franchise, so this could be 2K's way of doing what rival EA used to do with the NBA Jam and Street franchises. NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 hits the court this fall. 2K hasn't said if they'll retain publishing rights to future games in the Playgrounds franchise. Now this is exciting news, and maybe a little less exciting for anybody that's been waiting for an NBA Jam kind of reimagining or a revisit. 2K is not going to squander this opportunity. There has been a distinct absence of a really well-crafted arcade basketball experience for a long time, and 2K knows this. They have a lot of weapons in their arsenal. They are going to make something really incredible with this. I'm very excited. The first Playgrounds game wasn't bad. It was just kind of lacking in some a little fidelity and some features and some nuance that would really kind of lift it over the top. But it was fun in that you could get 3 other people playing on the court, and you could have that insane NBA Jam kind of experience in the modern day. This is going to be kicking things up to another level. I am very, very excited about this, and congratulations to Saber. They started on a road down here, and by enlisting the help of the 2K team, I think this is going to propel this game to some really fantastic heights. Cannot wait. Yet another tiny retro console is coming to stores this fall. Retro Games Limited has announced that their new system, the C64 Mini, will hit North America on October 9th. Similar to Nintendo's NES classic, the C64 Mini is based off the early 80s computer console, the Commodore 64, and comes with 64 classic games pre-installed along with a retro-style joystick. The C64 Mini was actually released in Europe earlier this year, but unfortunately it only received mediocre reviews, so don't expect it to be any better when it lands in North America. I never had a Commodore 64. I know that might be a bit of a shock, but I went the Atari computer route. So I had the 400 and the 800. I never got into the Commodore stuff. I'm excited to check this thing out. And here's another example of why, you know, it's going to get tougher and tougher for any of these ROM sites to just offer up all kinds of freebie software out there. I think people are kind of recognizing the value, not just the nostalgic value, but the you know, the cultural value of collecting these classic games in some pretty cool new ways. You know, hopefully there is some, I don't know, motherlode, a Steam type, you know, collection of all of these classic games. That would be phenomenal. But I think that's a big dream, right? Because there's always been these console wars and these different ways that you can have access to the software. I am excited to check out some of these Commodore 64 games. I have tons of friends out there that have played Commodore games for years, and they are always talking so highly about them. I wouldn't be surprised if this does all right financially, that we'll get an Amiga system, a little portable Amiga version. That would be pretty cool as well. But yeah, I mean, I love the idea of making these classic games still valuable in the modern era. I don't agree with everything being disposable. I don't think we should stand still and just you know, worship at the altar of retro, and that's the only thing that we ever play. I love a lot of the, you know, obviously I love a lot of the new software and a lot of the new ideas and you know, these huge teams that build us these grandiose visions. But it is important to, you know, honor where this industry came from and honor the roots and the cultural implications of this software when teams were tiny, ambitions were huge, and the technology sucked. And still we got great games back then. Anyway, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. We are going to be back next Monday with a brand new episode for you. We're taking a few days off for a little summer vacation time. Blake is on a production trip, though, as well. So we will be back next Monday. You know, we've got tons of content for you to peruse on the old EPN channel. So please do that. And if you dig our stuff, don't forget to hit subscribe, that little bell, and if you're so inclined, that sponsor button. Thanks for watching, everybody. Play forever.